Law enforcement officers sworn to protect the public. But what happens when they abuse vulnerable children? The Washington Post recently concluded a major investigation. They determined the number of officers in the U.S. who have sexually abused children during the past 2 decades. Here are the numbers. More than 17,000 officers were charged with crimes between 2005 and 2022. And 1 in 10 of those were charged with crime involving sexual abuse of a child. Joining us to talk about it, Eduardo Lopez-Casas of SNAP of Houston. Of course, Eduardo, your focus has typically been priests, but also other professions.
Yes.
I did a check, and of course, we don't want to just point the finger at law enforcement officers, but the #1 profession where there's abuse with children, education.
Yes.
Teachers, obviously, they have access to young people. But when you hear about law enforcement officers, your thoughts on that?
#1, on behalf of SNAP, I want to thank the Washington Post for coming out with this investigative report, which really sheds light on a new, what I am now calling mass molestation from organizations, for example, like the Boy Scouts, the Southern Baptist Convention, the Catholic Church, and now here we have law enforcement. It's terrible, all of those statistics that you were reading. One of the worst ones that I read was that only 40% of those officers that had sexually abused children have served any jail time. It is so similar, Isaiah.
Now, they're more than likely to get a pass than anyone because of their commitment in law enforcement and their service to the community. So they say, okay, we're going to give you probation.
And if you look at the other scandals that we've been talking about for a long time here on the Isaiah Factor, you will see all of the similarities, Isaiah, which is people in an area of trust, of great trust from parents and children, end up abusing them. And then you see a system of cover-up. And then you see that it goes from the bottom all the way to the hierarchy. And it's just terrible. It's just another story. I'm sure this is going to blow up just like the other scandals. Like I said, now what I'm referring to them is mass molestations, which is what they are.
What we just reported on yesterday here at the Factor was, and this shows how no industry, no profession is safe. Someone in the news business, a news manager in Louisiana, agreed to meet a 15-year-old, what he thought was a 15-year-old girl, but it was a sting. So there is a problem in the news business as well. So no profession is safe from this anywhere in the country. So what would be your advice to parents to protect their children? Obviously, you don't want to keep your kids inside, isolate them from the world, but you have to prepare them for the world.
Exactly. And if you remember, Isaiah, the last time you had me on here, one of the last things that you said to me is, Eduardo, what do we tell parents? We don't want to alarm them. And I looked at you and I said, Isaiah, they need to be alarmed. Okay, there's no way around it. What we're seeing right now, I mean, just think about it. Think about what it's like to be a parent and say, I can't trust the police, the ones that are supposed to protect me and my children and my family. I can't trust my priest. I can't trust my scoutmaster. And I can't trust my teachers. So it's very alarming, Isaiah.
Would you say paranoia is okay as long as you're protecting your child? But not to the extent of isolating them?
I think it has to go above paranoia at this time because, again, because of the internet, because of the way that children, very small children now from 5 up, use cell phones and get on the internet. There has to be paranoia.
The world has been made small with the internet.
And predators are just waiting for the right moment. Notice in this report about the police that just came out of the Washington Post, we're talking about grooming, okay? That's something that we all know that in all of the organizations that have these mass molestations, there is grooming. But one of the things, that we always talk about grooming of the children. But what we need to talk about is the parents are also groomed. They're groomed by these predators. Okay, when they're gaining trust, they're grooming the parents along with the child. And sometimes the parents are oblivious because they're like, oh, this is the nicest priest. This is the nicest officer. This is the nicest
And it gives them a break from their children if they're trying to get that break.
Exactly.
You know, instead of the iPad, now you got this person who's giving your child attention, but this person may be up to something nefarious.
Yes. I mean, and just to think again in this report, another thing that was said in this report is the fact that these officers use things like, I will arrest you, or I will cause you bodily harm. Now, can you imagine if you're a 12-year-old child and an officer says that to you, I'm going to throw you in jail? I mean, that child is just there, a victim to do whatever that police officer is going to either do to him or wants done to him, to the police officer.
But once again, you say parents should be paranoid. They should be over-paranoid to protect their children from the predators that are out there.
Very, and I'm sure you know, and you can testify to the fact because you called me on the show, and it's becoming more frequent.
Yeah,
It's becoming more frequent.
You're starting to have a weekly visit.
Yes, and so do you think that again, do you think that makes me feel good? Because I've been advocating this for so long, and my organization is over 36 years old. We've been in existence fighting this for 36 years. It's not diminishing, it's increasing. So I don't see an end to SNAP. I don't see an end to parents feeling comfortable. Something has to be done, and we need to readdress the way that we watch our children.
All right, Eduardo, thank you for dropping by on The Factor. Always good to see you. Unfortunately, not a positive situation. No.